welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is the monthly reading for December 2025 for the air sign Aquarius. Aquarius, I hope that you are doing well. For the reading today, I'm using the Star Spinner Tarot deck to do the 10-card Celtic cross spread. I always say the readings, they are general in nature, so the messages may or may not resonate. If you do enjoy the reading, please do consider giving it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate that. You might also want to subscribe to the channel. That way you'll be notified whenever I do post new content. And if you're looking for shorter content, different, sort of more frequent content, you can find me over on TikTok. I'm at Changing Phases Tarot on TikTok, and there I do post, daily, weekly, different types of readings. So find me over there as well. All right, let's get going then. Center of your spread. You begin with the, this is the King of Wands. So fire energy here. Could be dealing with an older Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. Could be a father figure, your own father, father of your children. But, usually this King of Wands, he's very dynamic. He's, as the sort of the ultimate in, right? This king of the suit of wands. Wands deals with the work that we do, creative projects and endeavors, and can also be, our own passion and drive, determination for those things that we do, right? He really works well under pressure. He kind of thrives under pressure. If there are new projects to get going, he is great at doing that, right? He sort of takes on the role of leader. So he's very goal-oriented. He's very good at kind of seeing the big picture, of heading a team, right? And conveying all of those different moving parts to the team. So there could be a project that you might be working on this month, that you might take this leadership position in. We'll see how this ties in with the rest of the spread. Let's keep going here. Could be, right, we have kind of a king and a queen, so there might be this connection between the king and queen. Could be you taking on the energy of this king or this queen. If it's not you, then you could be dealing with, in the case of this Queen of Chalices or Queen of Cups, this would be an older water sign individual, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Again, could be a mother figure, mother of your children, your own mother. But she is very loving. She's very nurturing. As the Queen of Chalices or Cups, which, the suit of Cups, it's water energy. And so it deals with, it's the suit of the heart, right? Of relationships, of feelings. And she's very loving. She's very intuitive, actually. Out of all of the queens, she is sort of the most intuitive queen. But she's very emotionally stable, very loving, very compassionate. She's also very good at listening, right? And actually, quite creative as well. And so her sitting, sort of crossing this King of Wands, who's definitely very, creative and dynamic. There could be a focus on creativity this month. We have in the deep past, this is the Wheel of Fate, or Wheel of Fortune, so number 10 of the major arcana. 10s in the tarot represent endings, right? In the case of this Wheel of Fate or Wheel of Fortune, could be an ending to a cycle. If you have found yourself on this downward turn of the wheel where things have been a bit difficult, now, the Wheel of Fate is turning. Things are starting to pick up for you, starting to improve. So usually, it is like the title of the card suggests, it is a very fated type of energy. So, if you have found yourself in this difficult situation, that's now your time, things are going to start improving for you. So very karmic energy. So, depending on when you hear this reading, you might have already experienced this, or things might have been starting to improve, right, as you, over recent weeks, coming into the month of December. We have in the recent past, the Seven of Swords. And, there's sometimes, this card can be a little tricky. I know that sometimes it can have more of like a negative sort of connotation to it, in the sense that he's, stealing away here in the middle of the night, trying to take all the swords with him. So it can represent, you know, this like deceiving, it's a deceiving energy, or, you know, this thieving energy. But it can also represent like like the lack of planning. And so there, when the card shows up in a reading, there could be a need to focus more on planning, or to, you know, improve your plans. Could be needing to see things, or come up with a new plan, like seeing a different way of doing something. Because if he had planned more carefully or better, he would have been able to carry away all of the swords with him instead of just these 3, right? Because he's actually leaving behind swords so that the people who are still there could actually defend themselves. So possibly needing to come up with a different approach to something. With this, the swords, the 7 of Swords showing up, obviously swords energy, it's air energy. You're an air sign, Aquarius, but it has to do with the suit of the mind, communication, right? We have another 7 showing up in the crowning position. So message from your higher self. We have the Chariot. Chariot is associated with the water sign of Cancer. And the Chariot is a card of victory. But it's, you know, a victory that is, it's been hard fought for, right? And it's about, you know, this bringing together of the light and dark energies, right? We have it reflected here on the, with as being cats on this card. But, you know, there's a combining of this negative and this dark and light, this negative and positive energies, but ultimately leading to this victory. It is a card of victory. So, you know, you could be in the month of December, there could be a victory coming in for you, and it sits opposite this Wheel of Fortune. So it makes sense that, you know, now things are starting to go your way. Now, I don't usually read reversals, but with this 3 of Swords, I'm going to take it in the reverse position like it came out, because, you know, it sits opposite this card. And I did point out the 3 of Swords that are left behind. He's getting away with 3 of Swords. But in this position, it's like the swords are, you know, they're going to start falling out of the heart. They're not, you know, if they were right way up, yes, there's deception, there's betrayal, there's heartache, but it's like they're easing, they're starting to fall out. So I feel that there's some type of easing or some type of lightening, lightening of the load surrounding this 3 of Swords, which, you know, more than anything, it can represent a disappointment. So this sort of this end, or this improving of disappointment. And again, going back to this Wheel of Fortune card in the reading, I feel that there's, you know, you're overcoming some type of heartache or disappointment. You show up as the Hanged Man, and the Hanged Man is Major Arcana number 12. And the Hanged Man can be about needing to gain a new perspective. So again, this, you know, kind of tying in with the 7 of Swords, like seeing things, coming up with a new way of doing, thinking about something, or seeing something, this new plan. The Hangman, it speaks of, you know, the need to see things from a different perspective. If he were right way up, he obviously would not be able to see the situation in the same way that he's able to by being in this upside down position, which, although uncomfortable, is a necessary right thing for him to do to gain this new perspective. The Hangman can sometimes show up as well when there is a delay in something taking place, but it's a, you know, it's a necessary delay. There's divine timing and orchestration at play in your surroundings. We have the 6 of Swords. Yeah, so there's a improving, again, this movement, improving energy, and you have it in your surroundings. There could actually be movement, like moving with, and we have it with the Chariot. I'm going back here to the crowning position, because the Chariot can also represent movement across land, moving, so moving from one city to another. It can be buying a car, selling a car, but it can be this, you know, physically moving, and as can this 6 of Swords. And it typically represents moving from choppy waters into calmer waters. So, you know, this improvement in whatever the situation is, leaving behind the difficult times and heading into this new direction. Your hopes and fears, you have the Devil. This is Major Arcana number 15. Could be dealing with a Capricorn individual, with the Capricorn is associated with the Devil, but the Devil is about, you know, all things in excess. It can be those toxic relationships. It can have to do with repetitive patterns in your life, right? And so it it is just a fear in this reading. So I feel that, you know, you could be hoping to overcome any type of negative cycle or pattern, or, you know, or even toxic relationship. You could be hoping for more balance, because sort of the, you know, the opposite to the opposite energy to the devil would be the Temperance card, which is all things in moderation, right? So this very tempered or moderate approach to relationships, to different things in your life. Whereas the devil is all about, you know, compulsion and desire, and it might, you know, it could be also, I mean, you could channel, sometimes you can channel, like finding like a creative outlet for, you know, some type of impulse. I mean, if going back to this King of Wands in the center position, who is, you know, can be this kind of creative energy. But yeah, just don't lose yourself in the whatever these passions are, or, you know, because you don't want them to turn into vices. But again, it is just a hope or a fear. Beautiful. We have outbound energy of the Empress, and she is number 3 of the major arcana. She is beautiful, right? As you can see on the card, she is like the she's like the feminine archetype, so she's like the mother figure in the tarot. So she represents, well, 3s in the tarot represent growth potential, abundance, fertility. So for some of you, there could be a focus on fertility. You might be finding out that you are pregnant, or somebody around you at this time is pregnant. Could be birth of a child. If it's not to do with, you know, children, there's just great growth potential surrounding you. So this could be, you know, relating to your work, creative projects and endeavors, right? It might be a great time for you to begin these new things, because there could be great growth potentials attached to these, whatever these new things are. And then we have bottom of the deck, the 10 of Swords, which, you know, there's a definite ending here, right? So a definite cycle coming to an end. And immediately beneath it, we have the 4 of Wands, which is like the portal stepping through right into this new cycle. Can also be, it's like the 1111 card. It can also represent marriage, moving home, moving in together. So it's very positive energy. So yeah, I feel that I think that, you know, this 10 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, it all kind of goes back to this things changing in your life with this, the Wheel of Fortune. So, you know, finally, it's like you're moving on to calmer shores. This, you know, focus on gaining a new perspective, seeing things from a, you know, this new vantage point, coming up with a new way of doing something. But we do have victory. We have forward momentum, movement, possibly moving. Could be moving home, moving to a new city. But ultimately, as you move into the new year, there's great growth potential. So looks very, very positive here for you. So I do hope that the messages have helped. Again, if you did enjoy this reading, please consider giving the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful month of December. Bye for now.